G'day everybody, Strangers103 here, today with a Tirpitz game I would like to present to you as a replay cast. This was a replay off my stream on, I don't even know when, it was the one of the post-Dream Team events. This was the last game of the evening, and I really wanted to show you guys this because it's on North. And hey, look at the weather, it's really good, right? Well, actually, if I look out my actual window, it bloody isn't. It's raining and it's miserable. But whatever, the weather in this game is kind of nice. But that's probably going to change because the weather's nice. If you see this kind of weather around it, you know, blue skies in the beginning, it probably means that you're going to be facing a storm later. Anyways, looking at the matchups, I'm division with 44 Smok in a Benson, Yuri Nakamura, or Multi-Richard44, as he's known on my Twitch chat, in Namakin. We are quite top tier, however the enemy does have a Udaloi, but I'm not really gonna consider him much of a threat. Both Lexingtons, I'll spoil it for you, both of them are useless Lexingtons, because 202. So yeah, we have 2 Tirpitzes and an Amagin, they have 3 Tirpitzes, and on top of that an Amagin, we get a Nagato down below that. 2 Hippers, they get a Hipper and a Mogamin, York, Miyoko, Pensacola York on the enemy team, they get a Miyoko on top, but we get a Fubuki and a Whisker. So all in all, this matchmaking isn't too bad. Of course, it could have been much worse if the enemy tier 9 would have, say for example, been an Iowa or an Ithmo, and they actually played well. But regardless, because we are the only division in this match, and of course on our team as well, we were spawned on the western side because we're in top tier heavies. Well, heavyweight ships, I guess you could say. So I decide I'm going to push straight towards A. Now, as you can clearly see, my turrets are pointing off to the left. The reason for this is quite simple, actually. As the enemy fleet comes, you know, west as well, if they have their guns pointing toward, you know, this direction, to be able to effectively broadside me, they have to turn like this, exposing their broadside to me. I can turn my bow onto them to deflect their inbound shells, while still having my guns because they're pointing to the left side. By turning further turning my ship towards the island, which puts me in cover to engage the first guy coming around one-on-one, I can effectively shoot him, his broadside basically, before he can effectively do anything against me, because I'm able to angle my bow towards him, while he is forced to show a broadside. But regardless, let's take this back into my own first-person view, because I've spotted an enemy smoke screen, and there we go. There's the Benson that triggered it. And the second reason why I'm doing it is because I can do this. Now, I do actually screw up a little bit, as I dispense some skill in return towards the Benson. But yeah, as you can see, I've entered the gap, and then I've successfully managed to leave it. However, of course, with the detection of the Benson, I don't just want to sit there anymore, I want to get out. Because, hey, you know, I'm probably going to get skilled at. However, of course, my division mate was spotted first. But yeah, the first salvo went into the bloody island, and what the shit? We have a cyclone coming in already? Okay. But now I'm thinking, whoa, that's a very early cyclone to be coming, as I focus my anti-aircraft on the float plane fighter, which I actually managed to kill after it de-renders. But yeah, here I'm just thinking, I want to slowly skid forwards, and as you can see, the benefit of what I'm doing. Of course, the first ship here is a cruiser, so he's not probably going to be APing me for 20,000 fucking damage. But as you can see, the entire enemy fleet's behind it, but only the Mugamin is in a position to engage. Whereas the entire enemy fleet is going to be shooting at him. Yes, that's right. That's why you don't sail into the open like that, especially when there's absolutely no backup whatsoever, or rather said, the only backup is hiding behind a fucking island. But yeah, here I make a slight little bit of a mistake, but my division mate's getting focused big time, so it probably wasn't that bad of a thing. But the mistake is the fact that I'm spotted. My destroyer probably isn't spotted, so I'm going to be getting shot at, I'm going to be getting torped at, and he's between it all. So if enemy shells fall short, they're going to hit him and reset the cap, because I'm not currently capping. However, the biggest threat has been knocked out. Of course, if he does intend to actually dispense skill at me, he would have already dispensed skill at me. And there you go, you see, if those shells have fallen short, if that was a battleship, for example, like this that's coming in, you know, if it hadn't hit the island, if it had been going at me due to the flat arc, there is a possibility he could have hit 44 Smok. Regardless, we get the cap. The Armageddon's like, oh my god, I'm getting shot at by a battleship, must run the fuck away, because, hey, fuck this game. And yeah, the effects of the storm are now hitting in. And I'm just, you know, by now I've said, hey, I want to do something retarded. Well, I mean, I announced this, I believe, quite early in the game. In fact, when we saw the good weather, but now I'm saying, the storm hit so early, and you can see it on the map pings, I'm going to push through to their side of the map, hopefully fight whatever I can find one-on-one, and then GTFO back through B when the storm expires. A very aggressive move for a battleship, certainly. Certainly not a move I recommend you do as if you're not top tier, or at least, at the very least, middle tier in a ship that you feel confident in, and a fast ship that you feel confident in. Yeah. Having spotted the Benson coming in, I decide I'm going to engage him. Now, for the moment, I'm just railroading a little bit. It's intentionally, but, you know, slightly making a turn in now, because I wanted to bait that Benson into dispensing skill in front of me. So I make a slight turn in, I slow down a little bit, and now I know there's a Tirpitz. And there you go, skill successfully baited. I'm just thinking, okay, because of the turn in I had to make, I'm now stuck in a position where I'm basically forced to go through. I take another attempt at this penis cola, spotting the Benson though. In retrospect, I probably should have blocked the Benson. Our fighter CV has a go at him, doesn't really get anywhere. Yeah, after having seen that Tirpitz and the Hipper now, I'm thinking, shit. But due to the fact that I slow it down and the Tirpitz is now past the island, if he did in fact want a torpedo, which he did, as you can see, they're all passing in front of me. So now with the Hipper coming up behind me, and oh my god, another Tirpitz and an Armageddon, what the shit? Yeah, so much for fighting all of this one-on-one, right? It appears to be me fighting 1-on-7. Actually, no, it's 1-on-6 at the moment. The Benson's engaging my destroyer. The destroyer's engaging York, but I'm still fighting quite a lot of crap. And I don't want to. Anyways, since the Tirpitz has dispensed skill at me, I decide to make a very fast move out the other fucking way, as the Hipper dispenses skill at my position, assuming I was going to reverse, which I didn't, because trying to reverse there would have been my certain death with all of that shelling, as I believe either the Armageddon or the Tirpitz smacks me for 13,000 damage, and I get set on fire twice. So yeah, I pretty much decide to instantly damage control party that, as the Pensacola is out of visibility range, and I believe that the Hipper was actually firing AP at me. So I should have been reasonably safe doing that, as to take another massive hit from one of the battleships up my ass. I sail in, I save my destroyer division mate in the Benson, who gets away with it with quite decent health, as my other division mate, who was never really on good health thanks to his sailing in front of 5 battleships broadside. Don't do that, by the way. But yeah, he's coming in to assist me. Of course, a bit too late, and I don't know how long the storm's gonna last. But, you know, 8 kilometer acquisition range, I'm still in a shitty position. I still have 3 freaking ships chasing my ass. That is, of course, after having sunken 2 of them. But now that there is an Armageddon in the way, a friendly one that is, the fire's at least going to be slightly split up. However, my Armageddon division mate isn't really that healthy. But this Pentacola now makes a pretty important mistake. He goes completely bow onto me. What that means is that my guns can overmatch his bulkhead, well, his bow bulkhead armor, which puts him in the position where I can citadel him through the front. If you slightly angle it, you increase the probability of striking belt, which is just going to deflect at that extreme angle, and you reduce the probability of any shell that hits the bow because of a very slight angle. If it strikes the bow, it's just going to pass through the bow, go out the other end of the bow, and do jack shit. Anyways, the Armageddon takes a shot at me. I return a citadel hit to him, which is health that he's... Well, basically, it's 10,000, just under 10,000 health that he's permanently lost, that he cannot regenerate. As I smack a torpedo in the face of the Tirpitz and cause a flooding, which is beneficial because of the fact that he's going to be in a secondary duel with an Armageddon. And of course, there's a Benson chasing his ass, who's dispensing skill at him. Anyways, he's left on quite minuscule amount of health coming around the corner. Still getting shelled at, 300 health. I decided just to take a shot at him. In retrospect, a mistake, I guess you could say. I was, you know, it's a Tirpitz. It's got very poor HE resistance along the superstructure and deck. So if my secondaries, especially the 15 centimeter secondaries, had hit him, I probably would have scored a close quarters expert's medal, which would have been quite nice because I believe at this point I haven't yet done it for the evening. Anyways, my Armageddon got out of that quite decently. I got out of it surprisingly well, despite having to fight the entirety of, well, half the enemy team, basically everything on that side single-handedly alone for a couple of minutes. But yeah, this is why if you're going to do something stupid, make sure you're the first one doing it, because anyone coming along afterwards is going to get focused. because they're now, you know, prepared for it. By the way, fuck you, dispersion. But yeah, just I wanted to show you this little replay cast of a very aggressive battleship game on North, proving to you that the storms can in fact be very beneficial to battleships, because I see a lot of people whinging about it because, oh my god, at kilometer acquisition range I can't shoot from 26 kilometers anymore because I can't see anything because I'm on the fucking eye line behind the fucking carrier because I'm an idiot, right? Yeah, that's not how you play battleships, guys. Of course, some of them you do kind of want to be at such a position because you're, well, 26 kilometers is fucking retarded. But some battleships you want to keep at about 10-15 kilometers range. Others you can safely get closer to with. Others you can really get close to with, like for example a Tirpitz. But the majority of the battleships excel at about 10 to 12, upwards of 15 kilometers range, where you don't have to deal with major dispersion issues. Looking at you, USS dispersion. So yeah, the ability to get close that the Tirpitz does have is basically what prompted me to push that aggressively. Well, that along the fact that, we assumed the storm was going to come. We got the alert that a storm was going to come while I was literally parked on A. So that prompted me to just push through. Now, my division mate in the Armageddon has been knocked out, and, you know, I actually got a Kraken unleashed 9 minutes into the game, which isn't bad at all. But yeah, he got knocked out because he came to the party late. He had to deal with everything as I had run away. But by basically completely shepherding the enemy team into trying to attempt to fight me simultaneously and knocking out half of their fleet, well, the entirety of their western force, with just 2 battleships basically, and a destroyer, with a little bit of cruiser support coming in behind us now. But having done that, we've basically firmly secured a victory here, and it's going to be pretty damn impossible to throw this one away. So yeah, battleships, guys, they can be aggressive, guys. You don't just have to sit 20 kilometers away sniping, because hey, you have to deal with your amazingly hilariously crappy dispersion. And your armor at that range does actually suffer the issue of being able to get pierced through the deck, unless of course you're something like a Yamato, which is still reasonably tough against that. But still, the Yamato's armor, I would certainly say, is very strong at closer ranges as well. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this replay cast of mine. I hope you guys will, for those of you that don't like storms, I hope you guys can have a second thought about storms. I personally certainly quite enjoy them due to the possibilities that they give to an aggressive player, and of course penalizing those that are sitting 20 kilometers away from the fight, halfway up the border on their own side of the map. Of course, I'm sure a lot of you guys will be thinking, hey look, Stranders 103, you're the biggest border scraper on the fucking server, you don't have a right to say this, but hey, realistically that was just a joke at my closed beta stats of over 80%. I think it was around 80 or 70 odd % survival ratio, which is, for a destroyer captain of the time, a pretty insane number. Right now it's on, I think, almost 86% as well, so yeah, no way you can get that without border scraping, right? Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this replay cast. This is not the 3rd time I say it because I can. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys later. Something. Take care. Something. Go fuck yourselves. Blah, blah, blah. Get out of here.